Hello guys and welcome to week 2 of the CVL between the Pockys and the Cream Puffs. So starting off on defense, we do have the Team Pocky going with Tenor, Orams, Nick, Minecrafter, and their captain Emmy. And on attack, we have the Cream Puffs with Para, Puff, Geo, Kunai, and Jams. Now these two are definitely lineups that we are used to, although on Team Pocky they are missing their current best player, which is Cryptic. Cryptic will be subbing out today, so Nick will be joining in for his second game in the CVL. Now these two teams have just both won their previous games, and so now the winner of this game will have a 2-game win streak, and so that's definitely something worth fighting for these two teams. Now starting off, we see Tenor not going for the Sentinel agent this time around. He's someone that's known for his Killjoy play mainly. That is his comfort pick, but it looks like today he is going to be taking out the Breach. Before Team Pocky has had Cryptic on Breach, at least for one game. But it looks like this time around Tenor will be picking up that role since Cryptic will not be playing. Instead, we will have Minecrafter on the Sentinel role, which is something that we're more commonly seeing nowadays, especially with him on Cypher. That's definitely something that he has been practicing quite a lot. Orams, Nick, and Emmy are all going to be playing their comfort role. And so there's not too many changes over there. And on the other side, we've got Team Puff with Jams on the Sage once again. We got Para on Omen, Puff on Sova instead of on Phoenix like he normally plays, and Geo and Kunai being the two duelists. So right off the bat, it looks like Team Puff is going for the two duelist setup, and out of all 4 teams, I'd say they are the team that favors this two duelist setup instead of one the most. Looking at week 1, things have definitely adjusted and the meta has slowly developed within this league. I mean, in week 1, teams are definitely a lot more solo queue-esque, which means that they don't really play for the team as much as we see some teams run a 2, maybe even 3 duelist at times. But now it looks like most teams are running 1 duelist and having 2 duelists at most. So now Team Pocky will start on defense, and they will, oh my gosh, they will start by defending this B side beautifully. Emmy with 2 quick kills there with the Ghost. Deciding to give up the smokes in favor of the Ghost is definitely a risky move. Kunai manages to get 1. Let's see if Kunai get any more. Geo manages to get 2 though, and Emmy could not get a 3rd, so now it's all just down to Nick. So what looked like an amazing start, it looks like Geo and Kunai managed to shut that down. Okay, now Para sees Nick. Nick is still healthy. This is a great blind, which slows Geo's push, but it looks like Geo is just absolutely fearless, taking 3 kills for his team. Para manages to get 1 as well, so despite the great start by Team Pocky, they managed to drop the ball there. But I do like the early read from them though. Now, one thing to note is that Team Puff are playing with real superstars here. Not to say that Para, Puff, and Jams are terrible players. They're great, of course, but Geo and Kunai are on a level of their own. And so attack round, we do expect to see them, have the advantage, because when you're on attack, regardless of which bomb site you go to, unless the opponent, the defensive side, decides to risk it all and all stack one site, you're going to have a man advantage, right? So having Geo and Kunai along with the help of 3 other teammates is surely going to overwhelm all sides. And so now if you're Team Pocky, all you want to do is just slow the bleeding down here and make sure that you can lose as low rounds as possible. I think once they reach their attacking half, they should feel a lot more comfortable. Okay, so now it looks like we have a stack here. This is quite a weird thing going on, but it looks like it's just because we've got 1 AFK here. from Para. So we are just going to be waiting for Para, but it looks like Para is back, and so now we are good to go. I thought they were just, doing something that that we don't understand, but no, it looks like the game is back. Sorry for the little delay there. But yeah, we're good to go. So now they are going back to go on the B push. Although this time around, Team Pocky decided not to stack B again. It looks like they are comfortable having 2 people B, and I think with the smokes plus the utility from Cypher, that should be more than enough. Team Puff is going to go for a semi B split here. They are just going to have Kunai pushing long on his own. Meanwhile, Gio will lead the charge. That's a great molly there, forcing Emmy to go out of that angle or that cubby, and Gio managed to kill it off with a nice clean kill there. Puff gets 1, gets 2, Kunai gets 1 as well on Orum, so now it's all just down to Tenor. And yeah, this is the thing that's most scary about this team. Oh, Tenor unfortunately could not get anything there. Yeah. This is the scariest thing about Team Puff, is that when they decide to attack a site, they attack with such, overwhelming speed that usually the opponent couldn't even get off site, even if they want to play retake. So it's just something that's very hard to do against Team Puff. So I think if you're Team Pocky, you definitely don't want to play not to lose. You definitely want to play to win, which means that you shouldn't be holding a super passive angle, but at the same time you have to not be in a position where you can't run if the enemy overwhelms you. So holding cubby is definitely something that Team Pocky needs to avoid doing. Okay, so now they know it's going to be an A push. Tenor sees 1, so it looks like the team will start rotating. Oh, now Gio manages to get 1 with his ult on Nick, on Tenor, but Nick manages to get 1 on Para before being traded by Kunai. So now it's going to be a 3v4 retake. Question is, does Team Pocky want to take this one? Kunai manages to get 2 on Emmy and Minecrafter, so now it's all just down to Orums. And in all these 3 rounds, between the moment they attack sites and the moment they get their plant down and leaving 1 man alive, is only about, I don't know, a minute at most. That just shows how fast they take these sites, and Orums was not expecting that timing, so it looks like Team Puff will manage to get that one in a pretty clean fashion. So now Team Pocky is just struggling to find these kills, and it looks like this time around they are going to try to force. Now, I don't know if I like the force from Tenor and Nick, but Emmy still having money. I do like that she is buying. I think if she's buying, the rest of the team can make an argument for fully forcing here. The only issue is that if they lose this round, then they're going to have a hard time coming back economically, because Team Puff's money is just out of control right now. So now Gio will lead the charge, pushing in. This molly will slow him down, but it looks like Emmy decides to peek here, backs off. Kunai manages to get Minecrafter. Gio gets 1 through the smoke on Emmy. Tenor luckily stops Kunai, and Nick gets 1 on Puff. That blind is good, and it forces Jam to go back. So now Jams will just be planting the bomb, and once again Team Pocky will play a retake here. This is their best chance yet. Okay, Orms manages to get 1 on Jam, so now it's down to a 3v2. They do have the man advantage. Nick picks off Para, so now it's all just down to Gio, who's been playing absolutely phenomenal. Gio manages to get 1, gets 2. Okay, Nick will be smoking this, but I don't think he's going to be ready for this molly. Oh, he just barely manages to get out of the molly, and Gio peaks at just the right time. With 14 health left, he manages to clutch it out in a 1v3 situation, getting 4 kills in a row in this round. And with that round, I think Team Pocky is going to have a hard time buying from now on. It looks like they are once again forcing. Now that the force rounds have not really worked out, I really do want to see them just, saving 1 round, losing 1 round, and getting a full buy, maybe even getting the op around, instead of, having specters every round. Now Orms is someone that can definitely play the op, and so I really hope that Team Pocky will be able to get at least 1 or 2 op rounds this half. But either way, now it looks like Team Puff is going to be rotating back. And it looks like this time around, Pocky is just going with the fast rotate here. They're not going to take the risk. Tenor manages to get a good one on Puff with his utility there. Nick will be holding U-Haul, but it looks like he's not fast enough for Geo, so Geo manages to get that one. Orms gets one on Jams, knows where the other 3 is. So Orms is going to be using his ult. That's a great blind there, and he manages to tag Para, although he couldn't get much else. Minecrafter did finish that though, finishes Geo as well, so now it's all just down to Kunai. Kunai will be pushing forward. Unfortunately, he does not have Spike, which means that he cannot rotate here, so now it's a 1v3 if he wants to keep Team Puff on the clean sheet. He is going to slowly peek, but it looks like Team Pocky is doing really well and not peeking. Ooh, Emmy decides to go for the peek there, but unfortunately it's not going to pay off for her. Kunai will have his ult from that, and it looks like he is just going to rotate. Oh no. This is exactly the last thing you want to see from Team Pocky. Let's just hope they can close this out. But now with Kunai, you know, having his ult, this is going to be tough. And Kunai knows where both of them are going to be coming from, except they don't know where he's at. So now it's all just down to Orms. Orms is going to blind here, does not know where Kunai is. And now he has the task of finding this Jet right here, which who could be anywhere. I think Kunai is holding a excellent position. Orms is going to tap the bomb, looks for Kunai. Looks like Kunai is deciding not to peek this. Kunai is going to peek, manages to get Orms, and how did Team Pocky throw that? I think they were supposed to win that round. But yeah, I mean, Emmy peeking unnecessarily there, got caught off, and then once Kunai got the spike, rotates, you know, Orms and Weep did not push in together, which is definitely an issue there with their comms. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't a full buy round, so technically Team Puff was supposed to win that one, but after how hard they worked, especially you know, Minecrafter getting the 2 kills, especially on Geo, and that's definitely something that you don't want to see. Alright, so Team Puff will once again push up B. Looks like they are not rotating yet, although Tenor is going to be on the flank here, so this is their first time trying any sort of a flank. Minecrafter sees Kunai. Unfortunately, Minecrafter did not get anything. Emmy with the ult, but could not get Kunai. Geo manages to get Orms, gets Nick, so now it's all just down to the flank, and it looks like the flank did not arrive on time because I don't think Tenor will be able to get much here. Maybe he'll be able to get one to catch him off guard. It looks like Puff will be looking for it, and they see him and they all peek together, and that's a very nice coordination from Team Puff. I'm genuinely really impressed with what they've been able to do so far. Getting 6 rounds, so that means they are going to at least tie the half. And now looks like once again Team Pocky is going to force buy. Okay, finally it looks like they are going to go for the save here, which means that at least they're gonna be able to get the buy next round. So we should see a clean round from Puff here, Team Puff, and it looks like they are gonna come out ahead in the half. So far this half, to be honest, has not really been very eventful. I don't think Team Pocky is playing too badly. I think they're just not used to this speed and this coordination. Nick will be pushing ahead. We'll see Kunai. Kunai with a very uncharacteristic miss there. He potatoed really hard. Okay, Nick manages to get one. Orms gets one on Puff. It looks like Jams will be forced to use his ult there. Unfortunately, he could not get Minecrafter, so now it's down to a 3v2. This is a very interesting turn of events. Emmy with the really nice shot there and a headshot to kill off Geo. So in their first full save round this game, they managed to clutch it out. And I mean, I think Emmy played phenomenally there along with the rest of the team, but Kunai missing that first shot on Minecrafter is definitely, you know, an issue. And even if they had won that round, the fact that Jams had to use his res in order to, bring Kunai back, that's definitely a problem. And if you're Team Pocky, this is exactly what you want to see. Now, they definitely just have to string some rounds together. I think if they can get, even 5 rounds in this half, they can be very happy with that, considering, how well Team Puff has been playing. Okay, so it looks like they are not going to shoot the dart. They are just going to be avoiding it. Now, Puff will be droning in. We'll see 1 at least. So it looks like Tenor will just have to back off here. Nick with an amazing blind. Unfortunately, he did not peek out. He is going to peek out in time. Gets Jams. Unfortunately, he could not get back in, but Tenor gets one on Kunai. Okay, and Tenor will be pushing forward. Oh, but it looks like he's not going to get anything here though. Geo gets one on Minecrafter as well. Okay, Orms manages to get that one on Para. Luckily, so now it's down to a 2v2. This is a great blind there, but unfortunately he could not get the angle. But Orms and Tenor getting 2 kills back to back, and finally Team Pocky managed to get something going here, stringing 2 rounds together. And this is great because now finally it looks like for the first time their economy is, back to even more or less. They do still have the slight disadvantage, but at least now Team Puff will not be able to full buy here. And if you're Team Puff, you definitely will be kicking yourself after this one, because if they had won that full save round there, then they should be super comfortable, closing out the half. But instead now their economy is somewhat broken, and if they lose this round, then they definitely have to go for the save next round. So if Team Pocky can get this 3rd, they will almost guarantee themselves a 4th round, and just like that, they'll be back in this game. Okay, so now Team Pocky will be stacking this B site. Minecrafter gets one on Kunai, will use his ult. Emmy gets one on Jams. Minecrafter on fire, getting one on Geo as well. So now it's just all down to Para and Puff, and it looks like they are just going to be backing off here. Minecrafter will take the aggressive peek here on long. We'll see Para. Unfortunately, will not get Para. Okay, so now if you're Team Pocky, you don't want to make the same mistake again by going too aggressive. And right now, all they have to do is just play time. They do have the spike. Puff will be pushing in from Hookah here, sees one backup side, and it looks like Orms will peek, but unfortunately he could not get anything. Nick will re-peek there though. So now Para fake the teleport, but they're not going to react on that because they know they have spike, and so Para cannot really do much here.
30 seconds left.
So it looks like he's still just going to try for it anyways. He's not saving here, and Emmy with this hold on elbow, it looks like she's going to be able to pick Para off if Nick doesn't. Nick is looking around, sees if Para actually did teleport, but it looks like they hear Para. Emmy will shoot, gets Para, and closes out the round. So Pocky managed to string 3 rounds in a row, and with that, Team Puff's economy is finally broken. And they will 2 players from their team will have to half buy there. Of course, they are still deciding to force this, which means that if Team Pocky can get this one once again, then they will almost guarantee themselves a 5th. But regardless, their economy is looking absolutely solid here. So, if they can get just 1 clean round with 4 or 5 people staying alive, then they should be good to go for the rest of the half, and they should have enough money for a full buy each round. Now it looks like Team Puff is going to try the A site once again. Kunai will push forward, but it looks like Nick will get the better of him, so Kunai's aggression has finally been figured out. Orms manages to get one on Jams as well. Now Para and Geo will still be pushing out short. It looks like they know where Puff is as well. So now with that, it will be a 3v5, and Team Puff has not done a single point of damage, maybe except to Nick. But even with this rotate, they will still have to do a full retake here. Para will get hit, and they know where Para is, so I don't think Para can get away with that. He gets one, and now it's all just down to the team captain. Let's see what he can do here. It looks like he can't do anything, and Nick manages to get that one. So Team Pocky with an amazing comeback here, 4 rounds in a row. Definitely not what you expect to see after, you know, giving up the first 6 rounds so easily. It looks like they are starting to pick it up, starting to figure out this defense by Team Puff. And, you know, for a second, I was worried that this is going to be a one-sided game, but it looks like Team Pocky is making a game out of this one, and it looks like they are here to stay. Now, as I said in the beginning of the game, these two teams have won their previous games. And so one team is looking to start a 2-game win streak. And I do think that these two teams are currently the best 2 teams in the league right now. So this is going to be a close one. And I am glad that, you know, we definitely got the game that we deserve. Alright, Minecrafter and Emmy will be spraying through. Emmy with the reload there. Unfortunately, Geo manages to pick her off along with one more player, but Minecrafter gets 1, Nick gets 2, Nick gets 3, but it looks like Kunai is just left all on his own to hold the fort, but he is not good enough to stop Weeb there. Now, Minecrafter, aka Weeb, and Nick has been just absolutely on fire, and I think Orms, Emmy, and Tenor definitely helped out a lot to make this work out. So now Team Puff definitely cannot buy anything. They are 3 out of their 5 players cannot have a full buy round, and so if Team Pocky just close it out cleanly here, then they're gonna have a 6-6 half, which is definitely a very, very impressive comeback, and they can definitely be very happy with their performance in this half, you know, considering how they started. So now finally for the last round, it looks like Team Puff is going to just go for a standard A push. It looks like they are all just grouping. They're going to attack together. Now I think losing a couple of rounds in a row, especially losing that one save round, definitely was a punch in the gut for them. Because ever since then, I feel like they've played a lot slower, which is definitely not something that you want to see from them. They are a fast team, and I think they should stick with that. Oh, Geo manages to get picked off by Tenor, but Para trades it out. Emmy will be ulting here. It looks like she won't be getting much though. Para gets that one on Orms, but Minecrafter just absolutely cracked. So now it's all just down to Para here with almost no health. It looks like he is just going to be teleporting, but he does not have Spike. So that's a very interesting move by Para. Of course, he just needs to get out of there, and one good thing that he has going is that the enemy does not know where he is. And I don't think they heard that teleport either. Oh, but with that unfortunate tripwire, now they know exactly where he is. And it looks like Weeb is going to tag him. Okay, so they definitely know where he is, definitely knows where he's coming from. And now if you're Team Pocky, you just have to sit back and play time. And I think unless, you know, Para managed to pull off the biggest clutch of his life, I think this is a 6-6 half. Now, once again, if you're Team Puff, this is definitely disheartening to see, but I think they just have to pick it up next half. Emmy will be able to get that one on Para, closing it out. And yeah, with that, we do have an even half, but you know, if I was a betting man, I would definitely be betting on Team Pocky right now, because, you know, seeing them lose one round, even though it's a full save round, it's not the biggest of deal. Yes, they definitely dropped the ball on that one, but then again, all teams makes mistakes, but it just looked like they haven't been able to pick themselves back up and recover from that, you know, one fatal error, and somehow that error turned into 6-round loss in a row. And I think if you're Team Pocky, you have all the confidence in the world right now. You know, I think they finally start learning how to work together. I think the comms are definitely there now, and more importantly, they managed to shut down Geo and Kunai. Also, I really want to point out, you know, how impressed I've been with Minecrafter, with Emmy in particular, because these two players recently have just been playing out of their minds. I feel like they are definitely one of the better players in their tier, and this is definitely a good sign for Team Pocky. Okay, Nick manages to get one on Jams, but it looks like Para will be able to get 2. Minecrafter manages to catch off Kunai, so now it's down to a 3v2. Nick gets one more on Para, but it looks like Geo and Puff will be able to close that one out. So finally Team Puff manages to take a round back after losing 6 in a row. It looks like these two teams are very momentum based. Hopefully that's not the case anymore. Hopefully, you know, that's just the one pistol round, it's fine. And Team Pocky will hopefully come back in the next round or so. I definitely want to see a close game. I definitely want to see overtimes happen, and so we just have to hope that Team Pocky will not make the same mistake as they did early on in the game. Alright, so Team Puff will be stacking A here. Ooh, Para with the judge is going to be very deadly here. It looks like they do want to push him. Oh, but this push is going to work really well for Para. Manages to get 1 here. He is going to be boosting on top. It looks like he still wants to go aggressive. Manages to get 1, gets 2, and Puff gets that one. So Kunai will come back from the flank and manage to close out Emmy. And just like that, they had a flawless round. But man, Para with the amazing play here. You know, managing to go aggressive there even with the wall, and I think that really caught Team Pocky off guard, because you know, usually when the Sage puts a wall up, it signals the enemy team that, you know, they don't want to fight anymore, but it looks like Para had other plans, and that's just absolutely beautiful to see. So now that's fine. Usually the team that loses the first round and a half tends to lose the second round as well. That's just how the economy works in this game. But now we definitely want to see Team Pocky pick it up, especially now that they have the gun advantage. They should be able to get this round. But okay, let's see here. So it looks like Team Pocky is going to be taking it slow. This is a very good drone from Puff, and now he'll know where the teams are. He's going to get stunned there, but it looks like Para manages to trade it out for him. Geo gets 1 on Emmy, so now it's down to a 3v4. Orms will be pushing out here. I don't think he's going to be expecting Kunai. Oh, he is, but it looks like Tenor is the one that's going to pick him off first. So Tenor is going to be blinding here, sees Geo, and it looks like Geo is at the back of the site. Geo unfortunately could not get 1 on Orms, so Orms manages to get that one. I don't think they're going to be expecting 1 back of sight. Let's see. So Para is going to be holding here. Unfortunately misses all that shot on the judge. So now Jams will be on his own, trying to close this out, trying to bring it back for his team. Minecrafter sees where he is. He is going to be concussed. There we go. That's the word that I was looking for. He will be concussed. They know where he is, so they don't have to peek at all, giving Jams no alleyway to bring this back. Jams is going to just slow him down, and it looks like he is just going to be saving here. So Team Pocky will go out with 3 players remaining. Tenor barely misses Jams there, and it looks like Jams is just going for the save here. So yeah, this so far the rounds has turned out the way it should. And now this is the first buy round for both teams. Now because Team Puff made that one expensive for Team Pocky, it looks like Emmy will not be able to get a full buy here, so she will have to settle with a lesser gun. On the other hand, it looks like Para is going to go for the big plays with the Odin, and if this works out, it's going to be great, but if it doesn't work out, that's going to be a very expensive buy, because if he didn't buy the Odin there and they lost this round, they would still be able to get a full round next round. Oh, full buy rather next round. But by buying this Odin, he's basically going all in here. Now Emmy will be the first to peek with the ghost, and it looks like she won't find anything. They're just going to shoot the drone down, gonna break the wall. It looks like Team Puff is not buying it yet. They finally start sending Geo over. They used Para's ult to scout out here. So now Nick will be leading the charge. Now, one thing that I do like about Team Pocky is that they know that this is their weaker side of the two. I think they finally start to see the pattern here, you know, with Jams and Puff holding A. But with that, you know, after making some sound, it looks like they just want to rotate here. Kunai will be holding here. Geo will push out, manage to get 1, but Orms gets 1 in return on Jams. Kunai finally pushes out, gets 1, and Para with the Odin gets 1 on Emmy. Kunai gets one on Minecrafter, but Orams gets two, but it's traded straight away from Puff. You know, as a caster, seeing rounds like that is just absolutely difficult to cast because the trade just goes on. And I feel like these two teams so far, this game has been a bloodbath because the moment the first person falls, everyone else follows after, and it seems like they're all just fighting to the death there. I mean, the entire fight, except maybe Jam's death, all occurred in hookah. Okay, so now Kunai will be using his ult. Is he willing to push here? Now this is a great blind from Kunai. Geo manages to get 3 there before being traded by Orams. So Orams manages to get 2, but Nick took a lot of damage there. Orams manages to get another one though, so now it's down to 1v2. This is definitely very winnable for Orams. He can definitely clutch this out. He sees where one of them is. He's going to grab the spike, and it looks like he is going to just rotate here. Now that is a very smart play from Orams. So despite, you know, the scary start with a great blind from Geo and Kunai's ult, it looks like Orams will still be able to get at least the bomb plant here. But you know, if there's one thing that I know about Orams is that he's able to clutch these out, and you know, having deal with Kunai and Geo, I don't think this is the most difficult post plant yet. I think this is definitely very doable for him. So he is just going to wall here, heal up a little bit in the meantime. And I think he's going to have a rough idea of where the enemy might be coming from. He is going to ult here, looking for the enemy, and it looks like he saw both of them coming from that way. So Orams unfortunately will not be able to get anything with his ult. He is just going to wait patiently now. Question is, does Jam still have the wall? And the answer is yes. Walling Orams out, that's a very, very smart play there. Will Orams be able to see this one? And the answer is yes, but unfortunately he could not get that one, and Jam's managed to get a clean kill there. Puff will be able to defuse, so with that, it looks like Team Puff will have the 10th round. So that looked dicey there for a second, but other than that, I am very impressed with how well Team Puff has been playing on this defensive half. Meanwhile, on Team Pocky, we definitely want to see a little bit more from them. Now, if last half was any indication of how they play, it looks like they definitely know how to step it up once they have figured out how to play the half. And right now, I think they are still trying to figure out how to crack this defense by Team Puff. Now, it looks like they are going to be attacking the B side again, and Kunai will be peeking out with the op. Unfortunately, he can only get one, and if you are Team Pocky, you are definitely very happy with this. They know that Jams will be on the flank, so now Team Pocky manages to recover an op. It looks like they decided not to take it though, despite having op players. Nick will be peeking first, and they are going to be looking for players, but it looks like they won't be able to find any. Nick in the smoke manages to get the timing on Para. Unfortunately, could not get Puff as well. Geo manages to get 2, and Jams closed it out on Emmy. So it looked great for Team Pocky for a second, but Team Puff, you know, between Puff, Jams, and Geo, they managed to get 4 clean kills there. So very well done. And if you're Team Pocky, you definitely have to step it up right now, because they only have 1 round left to lose before losing the entire match. And you know, after that heroic comeback, you definitely don't want to see them you know, just give it all up in this half here, especially for a team that is, you know, known for their attacking half. Granted, they don't have Cryptic, and Cryptic is probably one of the best fraggers in the game. But even without Cryptic, they definitely do have some really good players. Emmy just leading the charge there with the, you know, being the support, managing to get that kill. That's very, very impressive. So now they are going to get the bomb plant, and you know, if you're Jams, you definitely don't feel good there giving up the bomb plant. So now, even though Team Puff will still be able to close it out in the end, that bomb plant definitely makes a difference, because now Team Pocky, I think, will be able to get a full buy here. It's just that now Team Pocky has to go absolutely perfect from here on out. They cannot make any more mistakes. And if you're Team Puff, you just have to play really slow, really smart. They still have, at least 2 more buy rounds. So Team Pocky will have to go up against full guns at least 2 more times. Now, Orums and Tenor will have to force here. Only Nick, Minecrafter, and Emmy will be able to get the full buy. So now let's see what Team Pocky does. I mean, they gave up 6 rounds in the last half before bringing it all back. Now they've given up another 6 rounds. Let's see if they can bring it back once again. If they can pull this off, this is going to be one of the best games we've ever seen. But that's definitely a great start for Team Puff, managing to get one. Kunai gets another one on Tenor through the wall bang. Looks like Nick, Minecrafter, will push up, will not expect jams. Jet manages to get another one, so now it's all just down to Orums. Orums gets one with the Aries. Looks like he is going to go out. They are going to be pushing him. This is going to be a good blind, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. So Puff managing to close out the game, and that's 7 rounds out of 8 for Team Puff. So overall, Team Puff's defense was absolutely phenomenal, and I think their attack round was good too. It's just that they managed to drop the ball there. So I'm glad to see that they can recover, and yeah, it looks like Team Pocky still has to figure out how to attack properly. But yeah, that's GG's to Team Puff.